All right. So today we'll talk about that how you are killing your time. And the thing about time is, and what you feel is that you're doing some specific task, and there is an important thing that will come up, and then your whole time would be wasted. But actually, the problem is not with that particular thing. The problem is with all the many things, that small things that you do every day that actually kills your time. Now these small things can be, bringing your charger from other room, or going to a stationery shop to buy a pen, or your parents are telling you that to do a specific thing. Of course, you need to help them, but you need to have a particular time set for it. So these are the things that actually waste a lot of time. So what I have been doing is, I was working at my home, and the reason that I was working from my home was that I just wanted to follow monk mode for some time. But what I felt was that there are a lot of distractions, that someone coming up, right, or your parents want you to do something, and all these things, like your family members, relatives coming up. But there's one important thing is that if you want to focus perfectly, and you want clear mind, you do not want any person around you at that particular time. So what I did was I shifted to a new flat, and I reduced the number of things that was I earlier was surrounded by. And at this particular place, I have very less amount of things, like one bed and then my desk, and not all those things that we have at home, the showpieces, not all of that, just some of the things that make me feel good, like some sceneries or some portraits of some entrepreneurs whom I really adore. And if I talk about kitchen, we keep very little amount of things in the kitchen, no sugary stuff, nothing. So you need to have very little things. And what we particularly do is, we do not let the cook come to our home every day. So we do a system of meal prep. So we make her prepare 3 meals per day for next 3 days. She comes for one day, she prepares the meals for three days. We buy all the groceries for a week, and that's how we do it. And we do not go out and buy all these groceries. We just order it by phone, although it's a little bit costlier, but that helps us to save a lot of time, and in that time we can focus on the clients, and we can focus on generating the revenues. And then if I want to buy a new desk, so what I did was, I searched for all the numbers of the people who were supplying the desks. I called them, I did a video call with them, and I just paid them right away without any negotiation. Because if you want to buy good stuff, and if you want that your client shouldn't be negotiating with you, do not negotiate with people. How you do is how you get, right? And then the next thing is that, suppose your internet connection goes off, you keep on waiting, right? So what I did was, I set up 2 internet connections over here, so that if one goes off, I can still work. So the workload on my brain, a lot of variables in my brain gets reduced. See, internet connection would cost only 1,000 rupees, or around $10 a month. But the mental toll that it would take if your internet connection goes off, it's a lot. So you need to have a replacement for that, and I have like 2 UPS set for that, just for the internet connection, because all my business, everything depends on it. And the next thing is with the food. So what I have done is, now people, when they shift to a new place, they order it from the apps, and they spend a lot of time in ordering the food. And this is a thing that I used to do 5 years back, and then I came to know that I am wasting a lot of time on this. So right now what I do is, I just tell my cook to prepare the same thing, like chicken, every day, except for some days which my parents do not want me to have chicken. And on those days I eat veggies, and for the night specifically, I have a menu planned for it. So cook knows that what things does she need to prepare, and she prepares that. And then the next thing is going to restaurants to eat. People think that it would take just half an hour for them to reach, and half an hour for them to come back, and maximum 1 hour for them to have food over there. So it's 2 hours, but it's not actually 2 hours. If you calculate, you start thinking about the food for at least an hour prior. Then you take half an hour to get ready. And then when you come back, it takes a lot of time for you to sit and focus again. So it takes a lot of time for you to work. See, with the food, you need discipline, right? You shouldn't be getting dopamine from food. You should be getting dopamine from the work that you do. So this is a thing that you need to follow. Stop taking dopamine from food. Stop eating junk a lot. And one thing that you can actually do improve your productivity is there's this activity where you just write down what you did in past half an hour for a week. So if you have suppose 18 hours waking time, so you'll be writing for at least 36 times in that particular day that what you did in the last half an hour. And then what you do is after a week that you make buckets where you put that particular thing. Like suppose if I'm using social media, if I'm using YouTube, so I'll put that YouTube thing in information gathering mode, right? And then social media in another bucket, and then daily home tasks regarding food in another bucket. And then you actually come to know that how much time is it taking you to do that particular task. So by this you'll get to know that what are things that you need to reduce, what are things that you need to increase. This will help you a lot. It's just like you are getting that mini paper cuts, like 1,000 mini paper cuts, and then you're dying from that. You do not actually die from a sword. You die from these paper cuts, and these are things that actually stop you from working. So you need to reduce time from this, and you need to actually get into that flow state of doing the work without any distractions. Have at least 6 hours of distraction less time. That's it for this video. And if you want to watch more quality content regarding productivity and sales and building your own business, this is a channel for you, where I put in my experience in last 5 years of building a business, a profitable business, and then starting another one. And I put all of this in this channel. So that's all for this video. Thank you.